Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe, and today I'm going to show you the 10 best knee strengthening exercises. We're going to go through all the muscles around the knee to get them stronger. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So these top 10 exercises are my favorite exercises. They're the ones that I found work best for me. They work best for my patients. There's no scientific research behind it. It's just the ones that through all my years have found work the best for people. So we're going to start off first with bridging. Now bridging helps strengthen a lot of things, including the hip muscles, but those muscles that come down and cross the knee, especially the hamstring muscles. So a bridge really works those hamstrings. It helps get them stronger, and that's really important in the knee because it helps bend that knee or do that flexion. So let's take a look at that exercise. For bridging, bring both knees up and put your feet flat on the ground. You can put your arms by your side and then lift your bottom up off the ground just to about level. So you don't want to arch your back and you don't want it sagging. Just bring it up level and then slowly come back down. Number 2 is a clamshell exercise. Clamshells are one of my favorites because they really work the glutes here, the glute med on the side, the IT band area, all these stabilizer muscles here in the hip that help us walk properly. And so even though it's up in the hip, it really makes a difference down in the knee because if we're not walking properly, it can cause a lot of pain and weakness in the knee. So make sure you're doing the clamshells correctly because if you're not in a good position, you're not really working the muscles that you want to. So let's take a look at that exercise. For the clamshell and side lying, lie on your side with the side you want to exercise up on top. Make sure your hips are perpendicular to the ground, so you don't want to roll back, but stay up top. Then with your knees bent, bring that leg up, just like you're opening up like a clamshell. Number 3 is a seated hip flexion exercise. Hip flexion is really important because it works those hip flexors, those psoas muscles up in here. And again, even though it really works the hip, that has a lot to do with the knee as well. It helps strengthen the knee because if our hips are working properly, our knee is working properly. And if something's going on here and it's weak, it can affect our knee as well. So those are important to do, knee strengthening and general type exercises, even though it's called hip flexor. So let's take a look at that exercise. For seated hip flexion, make sure your back is nice and straight when you're doing the exercise. Just bring your knees straight upwards. Number 4 is a seated long arc quad. We call it LAQ sometimes. For the long arc quad, it's working your quad muscle. And again, the quad muscle is so important to the knee because it helps extend or straighten out that knee. So a lot of times after an injury or a surgery, this quad muscle isn't working at all. Sometimes it won't even activate. So it's really important to keep this muscle strong and work that to make the whole knee stronger because it has so much to do with the strength of the knee and the tracking of the kneecap. So let's take a look at that exercise. For seated knee extension, just bring one foot up and squeeze that quad muscle as tight as you can, then slowly come back down. Number 5, squats at a chair. So squats are like the perfect exercise for the legs, the knees, the hips, all those muscles there, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes. Any kind of squat is great. I like to start off with a squat at a chair just because if you can't go all the way down, you can just sit down in the chair. But squats are super important to do them correctly because if you don't do them correctly, you're not working the muscles how you're supposed to, and sometimes then you're putting too much pressure on your knees or other areas. So make sure you're doing them correctly by watching this video. For squats with a chair, use the chair as a target. Step just a little bit away from the chair because you're going to stick your bottom back and bring your chest forward so your knees don't go in front of your toes. So squat back, just touch the chair, and come back up. Number 6, lunges. So lunges are just about as cool as the squats in the sense of working all the muscles in the knee and the legs and the hips. It's the same kind of thing. It works those quads, it works those hamstrings. It's a great way to strengthen those muscles. You can do modified ones just like you can do modified squats and slowly work your way down. So it's a great exercise overall to help strengthen the knee, the hips, the ankles, all the above. So let's take a look at that exercise. For lunges, you're going to put one foot out in front of you. Try and keep both feet pointed forward. Sometimes people will turn it out a little bit, but try and keep them forward. You want your upper body to stay nice and straight, not leaning forward, and just go straight down, keeping the knee behind your toes, and then coming back up. Number 7, step-ups. I really like step-ups, especially when you slow down the step. When we're going up and down stairs normally, we usually go pretty fast, we use momentum. A lot of times we can't tell if something's weak because we're just going and using gravity to go down, using momentum to go up. When you really break down a step up and you go slow and you go controlled, it works those muscles, again, those hamstrings, those quads, those calf muscles. All the muscles have to work together to help get you up in a smooth control motion. So when you slow it down, it's a really great exercise for the knees. So let's take a look at that. For step-ups, make sure your step is nice and sturdy and use a cane or a railing for balance if you need it. Make sure you control your step up and control it coming back down. Number 8, a single leg stance. So I think sometimes people forget about balance a little bit as a strengthening exercise, but it's really important because it works those smaller, finer muscles, not only in our ankles, not only our hips, but in our knee as well. So if we don't have good balance, that's usually a sign that our muscles are weak. So strengthening those muscles by doing balance exercises are very important. So let's take a look at that one. For single leg balance, stand next to something sturdy just in case you need a little assistance. Stand on one foot and then just balance. If you can go down to one finger, do that. And then if you can go not holding on at all. Number 9 is going to be a 4-way hip exercise. So I'm cheating a little bit because I'm balling up 4 exercises into one. So it's going to be a hip flexion, hip extension, hip abduction, and hip adduction. So see, that's a lot to say. Sometimes I even mess up. But again, it's hip exercises, but it's really important for the knee as well. Most of those muscles that attach the hip come down and attach and sometimes even cross the knee. So it's equally important to do those exercises to help make the knee strong as well. So let's take a look at those. Here are your standing 4-way hip exercises with a chair. For standing hip flexion using a chair for assistance, keep your upper body nice and upright. Pull up your toes to lock out your knee and keep your legs straight the whole time. Kick out just a little bit and then slowly come back in. For standing hip extension, use a chair for balance. Keep your upper body nice and upright. Lock out your knee by pulling up your toes to keep it straight and kick back just a little bit, but try not to arch your back. Keep everything nice and straight. For standing hip abduction, hold on to a chair for balance. Keep your upper body upright. Pull up your toes to lock out your knee and lead with your heel, just kicking out a little bit. For standing hip adduction, hold on to a chair for balance. Keep your upper body nice and upright. Pull up your toes to lock out your knee and cross your leg over the other. Number 10, the last exercise is going to be a heel raise. So just standing up and doing heel raises where you're bringing your heels off the ground really helps work those calf muscles. And those calf muscles are very important in the knee and our ankles and how we walk and just movement in general. So having those calf muscles nice and strong really helps our knee be nice and strong as well. So let's take a look at that one. For heel raises, use something sturdy for balance and put your feet about shoulder width apart. Then bring your heels up as high as you can and then slowly come back down. So those were your top 10 best knee exercises. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. If you'd like to help support my channel, click up here. And if you'd like to subscribe, make sure you do that by clicking down here. And remember, be safe, strengthen those knees, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.